Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? We are back again with another episode of the Steel Factory podcast. We have a really exciting episode today. I thought it was just going to be a typical Saturday. I woke up this morning. I was on my way to the gym. I park. I check my phone. There's a notification. Steelers have named Brian Flores as senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach. What a fucking day it has been. Like, this might be the steal of the offseason, just happening 6 days after the Super Bowl. And we're going to dive into it really quickly for a quick episode. I have my co-hosts, Junior and Chewy, with me.
What's up?
Yo, what's up?
All right, well, so starting off, we're going to go with the press release from the Steelers. The Steelers named Brian Flores as their senior defensive assistant / linebackers coach. It was announced on Saturday. Flores, who was most recently the head coach of the Miami Dolphins from 2019 to 2021, has over 14 years of coaching experience in the NFL, along with 4 years in a professional role with the New England Patriots from 04 to 07. And then I think again, right, in like towards the end, he was the actual defensive coordinator. I think this might be wrong, right? This might be 2014 to 2017, I think.
I think 2018 he was the linebackers coach, but they didn't have a D coordinator.
Oh, shit. All right. Oh, continuing on. I'm excited about Brian Flores joining our coaching staff, given his history of developing and teaching defensive players during his time in the NFL. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin said, Brian's resume speaks for itself, and I look forward to him adding his expertise to help our team. Flores played collegiately at Boston College before moving into personnel roles into the Patriots for 4 years. He went on to coach various positions for New England over 11 seasons, which led to his hiring as head coach of the Dolphins in 2019. In 3 years in Miami, he led the Dolphins to a 24-25 overall record and guided the team to back-to-back winning seasons. For the first time in nearly 20 years, he was relieved of his duties as Miami's head coach last month. Well, this was the first shock of the offseason when the Dolphins released him or fired him just like the day after the season, right? If my timeline's correct.
It was like, why would they fire him? I mean, there were rumors about Flores like not getting along at all with like the owners and stuff, and
Right.
like being kind of an asshole actually, just to like his players. Well, mainly Tua,
They didn't
but
want to in the first place, I think, and he was
He
kind
was
of
trying
mad
to
at
get Deshaun, wink, wink.
apparently he liked Justin Herbert more in that draft.
But yeah, I mean,
what does Flores like in this one?
he's gonna help us get Deshaun, right? That'd be something. But anyways, it was a shock when he was fired from Miami. And a few episodes ago, when we did our potential list as D coordinator replacements for Keith Butler, Brian Flores is on the list, but it wasn't really that realistic because, you know, this guy should be a sure shot for another head coaching job somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, he was like prime. He was gonna be the head coach people were gonna be after,
Right.
supposedly.
And the next thing you know, this guy, because of Bill Belichick, he's suing the league. And here we are. I'm willing to bet the Steelers were probably the only team that was willing to offer him a job at this point. I don't know how desperate he was for a job, or what intentions, or just what's going on through anyone's mind, because this was a shock. This came straight from the Steelers this morning. There was no rumors, no sightings of him meeting in Pittsburgh, no announcement of them meeting at all. And to just him be signed as a position assistant out of nowhere is like, this is the fucking news of the offseason so far for us. Hopefully this is doesn't stop here and we have more moves to make. But so far it had been quite a disappointing offseason. We didn't really have much to like announce or talk about. We had just signed a couple position coaches from the Panthers for our offense. We went the usual route and promoting from within for Terrell Austin, and then out of nowhere, we get Brian Flores. So, what's next? Like at this point, like is he gonna have a big role in the offense? Is this just for him to be able to stay in the league for meanwhile, and this is just the Steelers helping him out, being the class organization they are with the Roonies? What do you guys think? Do you think he actually like calls plays?
I don't think he'll call plays. I think Tomlin will I think Tomlin's always going to call the plays, and I think Terrell Austin will take care of the secondary. But I think Flores will have like the whole front seven to himself, I think.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I think Flores is just gonna be like just like another like big guy when it comes to scheming and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like the senior defensive assistant or whatever the title is, like that's just like you're gonna be in the office, you're gonna be the one coming up with plans,
Game
you're
planning.
gonna be one of the main motherfuckers.
We're gonna need this, especially with a lot of the offensive firepower that's coming out of the AFC. We saw a glimpse of it this year, and it should be improving even this next year. I forgot what I was gonna say, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think my timeline is right here. He was the D coordinator for New England when they just completely shut down the Rams in the Super Bowl, right?
I think so.
Right? Like, his resume speaks for itself. Like, this guy should not be a position coach. This guy should have been a head coach, and we're just bringing in another chef into the kitchen in Pittsburgh.
An
And this
absolute monster.
has me excited as fuck.
I know he was like the dream defensive coordinator.
Right? Like, if
signing,
it's like, all
and,
right, if you had all the money in the world, you could, spend as you want a D coordinator. You were like, all right, fuck it, Brian Flores, right? And fuck it. Now he's just an assistant. Oh my gosh. I like, speaking of chefs in the kitchen, I hope it's just not too many bright minds. We got Tomlin, who's always been a defensive focused coach. You got Terrell Austin, who was a D coordinator in the past, that's named a defensive coordinator now. You have Brian Flores, another former head coach, another former defensive coordinator, also in the mix. I just hope that we could stay focused and we could get like shit done when it comes down to it, and there's just not so much tension, because there is a lot of bright minds working for the defensive schemes.
I think they'll fall in line though. I don't think Terrell Austin's gonna like.
I don't think Tomlin and them are hard to work with, right?
I think Terrell Austin's gonna be happy to have Flores in his room.
I mean, yeah, like if the defense looks amazing under Austin, even if a big part of it is Flores, like it's just good for him.
It's good, yeah.
Right.
In the
And also,
long run too.
Yeah, and also I'm thinking like, I want to say Bill Belichick and Tomlin are kind of the same in the sense that they're like real no nonsense kind of guys, like just get your
Right.
job done and like do what your role is. And I think, Flores obviously came out of that, and I think he's gonna feel like he fits in well into that kind of environment, right?
Yeah. And just another question that kind of popped into my mind, as I thought about this more, is this just gonna be a pit stop for Flores, or do you think there's a way we could work around keeping him long term? Because that would be something as well. Like, I don't like, is Terrell Austin gonna be our defensive coordinator for the long run? Does Flores believe he could just be a defensive coordinator, or is he still gonna be looking for head coaches? And another thing is too, for how long will teams be wanting to keep a distance from him because of his not legal issues, but just the lawsuit with the NFL and a few other teams he's suing?
I think purely football. I think this should be a pit stop because he should be a head coach.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe this lawsuit takes 2 or 3 years to
Like,
settle out.
imagine we're able to retain him for 2-3 years because of this
think about-
lawsuit.
Yeah, like I mean, think about like what if he like, what if the lawsuit happens and shit, and like maybe he gets blackballed, like no one wants to hire him as a
That's
head
true.
coach, no one wants to hire him in general, and he's already in our office, and it's like, okay, like we have you.
Promote him, like make him
Yeah,
D coordinator next year. We don't have really any details of the contract, how many years or what, but
I mean, not that we could stop him from getting promoted at all.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
on another team.
I'm just excited. I mean, there's other questions too that people want to poke at, like what does this mean for Minka? I don't know if the relationship between them and the rocky past they've had is that serious, but it was 2019, right, where the Steelers traded a first rounder for Minka Fitzpatrick, who basically had a lot of issues with the way the Dolphins are ran defensively, and a lot of that had to do with Flores being the head coach. So would you want to be a part or witness that first conversation between them when Minka reports to the front office and Flores is there?
I
think that'd be
mean,
pretty funny.
That would be funny. I don't know. I just hope, like I said earlier, you have too many bright minds. What if Minka and Flores can't really get on the right foot? But at the same time too, Minka's a safety. Flores is his title is defensive or linebackers. So who knows how much they'll be, meeting together and all that.
I mean, it might just be an early sign that Pittsburgh is splitting ways with Minka. I'm just kidding.
Imagine
But I
that.
think what's really exciting is just him working with Bush, just someone super talented.
And yeah, Bush has the raw talent before the injury, and it was a big question this year. And really, just all around, all our middle linebackers, they just didn't have, we just didn't have the guys. I don't know if it's the personnel or just the schemes, but hopefully Flores could just kind of right the ship, because that was honestly our biggest flaw. Apart from D line, like you can't really knock the D line because we had several guys on IR. But meanwhile, we're charting out the same starters at middle linebacker the whole 17-game season. And there's a constant question on Bush. Can Schobert still get it done? You always had Spillane as more of a depth guy. So maybe you think Flores will have a good role in turning that around?
I would hope so. I think the problem with our like linebackers is like they feel like very, very high end depth guys, you know? And I don't think that's obviously not what you want. You want fucking starters.
Yeah.
So maybe the right coaching will push them into a better caliber of linebacker. Or maybe we go out and make some moves at linebacker
That's another thing
and get
too.
people that Flores can really work with.
A lot of black players are going to see the Steelers as a really good destination because of how they're handling the situation. And, we have the history with the Rooney Rule. And I'm bringing in Flores is just another way to say, it sends a message to the rest of the league, like, hey, we got to push forward and be progressive. I don't care if this guy has, whatever problem he has with the league. We're willing to stand by him and stand by his side and have him be a part of our organization still. And that's just send a message to a lot of the free agents around the league. Maybe they think Pittsburgh is more attractive because of that.
I think one player to look out for is Dante Hightower. He's a free agent. Remember we brought him in like 4 years ago from the
Hightower.
Patriots?
Right.
We wanted to sign him, and then he re-signed with the Patriots. His linebacker coach was Brian Flores.
Oh,
Yeah, just think of the amount of guys that Flores coached on the Patriots. Like the Patriots were a constant, unload, reload, like franchise. There's a billion amount of guys, not a billion, but a great number amount of guys that have been in Flores' system that, as soon as they get out of the system, they really have no destination because, these were players that were, they were system players. Because that's it. That's just basically how the Patriots were ran. They were just guys that knew what to do because they had like the perfect coaching staff. Then you got guys that used to be on the Dolphins. You got guys that used to be in the Patriots now. That just opens up the pools of free agents because of Flores now that are willing to go back to him because they like the way he ran things.
I mean, just like thinking about like Dante Hightower. I remember we were tracking the plane, like his plane from New England to Pittsburgh.
That was a while ago.
We were that gassed up about getting this guy. He was like top of his game, linebacker. He was
We
probably
never go after free agents either, so it was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we only had one plane to track, so it's pretty easy. That's off. But I mean, if he has that kind of pool, if Brian Flores, he worked really closely with him or whatever, if he has that kind of pool, then that would be amazing. That'd be amazing. And I think you do make a really good point that this is gonna make, there is the Rooney Rule and stuff, right? But this is gonna make the Steeler organization like really make us look like we walk the walk, just like we talk the talk
Oh,
with this kind of
exactly.
stuff. And that's really
Exactly.
great. That's a really great message we want to be sending, not just to the players, but around the league. And I think it's gonna help us attract talent on every level of the ball, on every level, right? Like every single
Like just think, like we're still working on getting a GM. Like, what if we bring in Louis Riddick as well? I know he was getting interviewed. I don't know how serious the interview was, but like just imagine if we just continue to just follow this trend that we're really about it. Maybe you could keep going.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking like we might be able to get like really, really great personnel across the board just because they feel really good about the organization they're
Right.
working for, right? They feel like they're gonna be supported by the organization they're working for. And that's great, right?
Yeah, this will really help in free agency, especially with all the money we have. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to be able to recruit so many people that want to play for Tomlin and Flores. I know a
Exactly.
bunch of Dolphins players are like, why did he get fired? We support him. He's a great head coach, and he's proven that. So, I mean, why wouldn't you want to play for this defense?
And speaking of attracting guys that like Flores, there was the rumors earlier this season, as soon as, or not this season, but as soon as Flores was fired, that him and DeShawn Watson wanted to work together and connect, and they were talking of basically working on getting on the same team together. Does this have any effect on that? Do you think we could fucking pull DeShawn now?
I think we had like a 5% chance before all this happened. Maybe we're like at 15%.
Would you take 15%?
I like those odds.
Give me that shit.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know when like Deshaun's stuff is gonna get cleared up.
He has his own,
Like there's
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
if the
bullshit
Steelers
going
wanna
on
get
there.
Another situation like that either.
yeah.
What's up?
I don't know if the Steelers want another situation with their quarterback either. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really.
I mean, you see, everyone has seen the memes like, oh, there's only one true successor for Big Ben, and it's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Do we really want to go there? I like. Who knows? Who knows? But like Deshaun is obviously like a huge talent, like MVP caliber.
Like this guy led the
quarterback.
league in passing yards, didn't he? Like right before he took off.
Yeah, he had a great season. Sucks out all off the field stuff, but
like
it might
you want to
help
see
out.
the guy back on the field just because of the talent, and you'd love to see him in a Steelers uniform, but he has his off the field issues, and I know maybe Flores saw past that initially, but what a thing it would be for the way for the spot for them to unite would be in Pittsburgh for
Out of
us.
nowhere. Who knows? It's like getting chosen by LeBron as a team. It's like, oh really? Like
When the Lakers got LeBron. Oh my gosh. Oh, but honestly, this just means a lot. Just as a statement for the organization to say like, yeah, we're riding with this guy. We don't care that the league's basically blackballed him, or not the league, but was it the Giants?
are we trying to balance out the
Giants,
PR?
Dolphins.
We're balancing out the PR.
Right? Like look really good by hiring Flores just to get the shot and be like, I guess the Steelers are okay.
This is fucking stupid. We're just bullshitting at this point. But yeah, it's just a big statement. I mean, we'll see where we go from here. Just as like the offseason was starting to look a little disappointing, you're wondering, okay, we didn't get Munchak as our own line coach. We just promoted Terrell Austin out of nowhere. I mean, not out of nowhere, like we saw it coming. We're assuming we're gonna promote from within for our next GM, but then out of nowhere we're bringing in Brian Flores. So yeah, I mean, I think that's gonna do it for us. Unless you guys have anything else to add, right?
No, good.
It's like we always hate on the Steelers from hiring from within, but this is like the ultimate not hire from within. And I just
Right? I mean, we were trying to throw out like, yeah, man, maybe technically Terrell Austin isn't a hire from within because we hired him 3 years ago and he was on a different.
That was dope.
It was copium at his finest. But
I mean, if we hire from within in a couple years for Brian Flores at defensive coordinator, I think I'd be okay with that.
Also, I don't think he would leave for another defensive coordinator job. I think it would only be a head coaching job.
Right.
Yeah.
He's already here. I mean, he'll probably only take a promotion here. And Tomlin's not going anywhere, at least I think. But yeah, just to have him in our front office, in our coaching room, in our coaching staff for the next year is a huge plus for us. And I'm excited to see where this goes. This is like honestly the biggest move we could have possibly made this offseason in the coaching staff. We'll see where we go. I mean, it's only up from here. We're going to be able to fix so many spots, so many shaky spots in our defense with this. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. We'll see you guys next time, bringing you all the news coverage from this offseason. A lot of discussions. Well, hopefully we have a lot more moves to make. We're still looking at it for a new quarterback. We're still looking for a new GM. We got a lot of options to explore in free agency. We're still looking for a new quarterback, and the draft's approaching in less than 2 months now, right? Or in a little over 2 months.
Yeah, about 2 months.
All right. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.